Have you ever found yourself feeling disrespected, undervalued, or humiliated in a public or private setting? Whether it's a tactless joke, a dismissive comment, or a moment of being overlooked, these situations can challenge our sense of self-worth. Yet, Buddhist philosophy offers profound wisdom to not just navigate these moments, but turn them into opportunities to command respect and showcase inner strength. Welcome to Buddhist Mindfulness, where we explore timeless principles that enrich our lives. In this video, we will uncover 5 transformative Buddhist strategies to handle disrespect, cultivate self-respect, and earn the admiration of others. Packed with real-life examples and actionable insights, this journey will leave you empowered to handle life's challenges with grace and confidence. Stick around, as the lessons within could change how you see yourself and others forever. Tip 1. First impressions matter. The first step in commanding respect is making a strong first impression. People's perceptions are often shaped by your demeanor, not just your words. Imagine this. At a professional networking event, you meet someone who stands up to greet every person, offering a firm handshake and direct eye contact. Their presence exudes confidence, and they naturally earn respect. In contrast, another person remains seated, giving a half-hearted greeting. Despite their skills, they're taken less seriously. Research has consistently shown that first impressions form within seconds of meeting someone. These initial judgments are often based on nonverbal cues such as posture, facial expressions, and tone of voice. People subconsciously assess your confidence, competence, and approachability, which influences their willingness to respect and engage with you. A powerful first impression signals that you value the interaction and the person you're meeting. For example, standing up to greet someone indicates readiness and attentiveness, while maintaining eye contact fosters trust. A firm handshake conveys confidence and sincerity, while a genuine smile makes you approachable and warm. The teachings of mindfulness remind us that our actions reflect our intentions. When you rise to greet someone, maintain eye contact, and exude confidence, you communicate respect, both for yourself and for others. These small gestures speak volumes about your character. Mindfulness encourages us to be present in the moment and engage authentically, which naturally enhances the quality of our interactions. At a seminar I attended, a man named David left a lasting impression. Whether engaging with a senior executive or a waiter, he always stood, smiled, and gave his full attention. His genuine approach earned him admiration and respect from everyone in the room. David's consistent practice of respectful engagement demonstrated that he valued every individual equally, regardless of their role. Actionable steps for a strong first impression. 1. Practice standing up to greet people. Make it a habit to rise from your seat whenever you're introduced to someone. This simple action sets a tone of respect and attentiveness. 2. Use body language that reflects confidence. Stand tall with your shoulders back and head held high. Avoid crossing your arms as this can appear defensive. Instead, adopt an open stance that invites interaction. 3. Maintain eye contact. Look directly at the person you're speaking with. Avoid looking away too often, as this can signal disinterest or insecurity. A steady gaze shows attentiveness and sincerity. 4. Offer a firm handshake. A handshake is one of the oldest forms of greeting and still holds significant weight in professional and social settings. Ensure your handshake is firm but not overpowering. 5. Smile genuinely. A warm, genuine smile can break down barriers and make you more approachable. Smiling also releases endorphins, which can help you feel more confident. To refine these skills, consider practicing with friends or family. Role-play different scenarios, such as meeting someone at a networking event or greeting a colleague in the office. Solicit feedback on your demeanor and body language, then adjust accordingly. It's essential to be mindful of cultural differences when making a first impression. For example, in Japan, a respectful bow may replace a handshake. In some Middle Eastern countries, direct eye contact between genders may be less common. In many Latin American cultures, a warm embrace or cheek kiss may accompany greetings. Being aware of and adapting to cultural norms demonstrates respect and thoughtfulness, further enhancing the impression you make. A strong first impression often leads to more meaningful relationships. When you show respect and confidence in your initial encounter, you lay the foundation for trust and cooperation. Over time, these qualities can influence how others perceive you in both professional and personal contexts. Common mistakes to avoid. 1. Slouching or poor posture. This can signal disinterest or lack of confidence. Always stand or sit upright. 2. Weak or overpowering handshake. A weak handshake may imply insecurity, while an overly firm one can seem aggressive. Strive for balance. 3. Avoiding eye contact. This can be interpreted as a lack of honesty or attentiveness. Practice maintaining eye contact without staring. 4. Neglecting to smile. A serious or neutral expression may come across as unapproachable. Smiling creates an inviting atmosphere. 5. Overly casual language or behavior. While being approachable is important, overly casual behavior may seem unprofessional in certain settings. First impressions are not just about initial meetings. They're also relevant when reintroducing yourself or meeting someone in a new context. Continuously seek opportunities to practice and improve your interpersonal skills. Joining networking events, attending workshops, or engaging in social gatherings can provide valuable experiences. The power of a strong first impression cannot be overstated. By combining mindfulness, cultural sensitivity, and intentionality, you can consistently leave a positive impact on those you meet. Remember, respect is often reciprocated. When you take the time to acknowledge and value others, you're more likely to earn their respect in return. Tip 2. Handle interruptions with poise. Interruptions in conversations can often feel disrespectful, undermining, or even frustrating. However, reacting impulsively in such situations can escalate tensions and detract from your message. Instead of succumbing to irritation, consider adopting a mindful and composed approach inspired by Buddhist principles. This not only helps maintain your dignity, but also strengthens your ability to communicate effectively. Interruptions occur for various reasons, sometimes due to excitement, other times due to misunderstandings, or even as a sign of impatience. Recognizing the underlying cause can help you respond appropriately. Regardless of the reason, handling interruptions with poise ensures that your message isn't lost and your respect remains intact. Imagine being at a family dinner where you're sharing a personal story. Midway, a relative interjects with their own anecdote. You feel a moment of frustration, but instead of reacting angrily, you pause and look at them calmly. The silence prompts them to realize their mistake, and they quickly apologize, allowing you to continue. This response not only keeps the atmosphere peaceful, but also subtly teaches the interrupter the importance of listening attentively. Buddhism emphasizes mindfulness, the practice of staying present and aware without judgment. When applied to interruptions, mindfulness encourages us to focus on our reactions rather than the interrupter's behavior. You can't control others' actions, but you can control your response. This practice fosters a sense of inner calm and confidence, enabling you to address interruptions without losing composure. Key Buddhist teachings that apply. Mindfulness, being fully aware of your thoughts and emotions in the moment. Equanimity, upekkha, maintaining emotional balance regardless of external disruptions. Right speech, samavaka, speaking truthfully, kindly, and at the right time, which includes knowing when to assert oneself calmly. By embodying these principles, you not only navigate interruptions gracefully, but also inspire others to adopt a more mindful approach in conversations. Actionable steps to handle interruptions. 1. Pause before reacting. When interrupted, take a deep breath and pause. This brief moment of stillness allows you to process your emotions and respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. 2. Maintain a steady gaze. Fix your gaze on the interrupter with calm confidence. Avoid glaring or appearing confrontational. Instead, let your expression convey that you're waiting for them to finish. 3. Resume assertively. Once the interrupter pauses or acknowledges their mistake, resume your point confidently. Use a polite yet firm phrase like, "Let me pick up where I left off," to reclaim your space in the conversation. 4. Reframe the situation. Sometimes interruptions can lead to misunderstandings or derail the discussion. Reframe the interruption by summarizing what you were saying before continuing. This ensures clarity and keeps the conversation on track. 5. Set boundaries when necessary. If someone repeatedly interrupts, address it respectfully but firmly. For example, "I'd like to finish my thought before we move on." Setting boundaries reinforces your value in the dialogue. 6, practice active listening. Handling interruptions isn't just about speaking, it's also about listening. When it's your turn to listen, give the same respect you'd expect. This mutual courtesy often reduces the likelihood of interruptions. Handling interruptions with poise has several advantages. Commanding respect. Remaining calm and composed signals self assurance, making others more likely to respect your input. Strengthening relationships. By not reacting harshly, you preserve harmony and avoid unnecessary conflict. Enhancing communication skills. Practicing mindfulness in conversations helps you become a more effective communicator. Promoting mindful dialogue. Your approach can inspire others to adopt similar habits, fostering a culture of respect and attentiveness. Additional techniques. 1. Mirror positive behavior. If someone interrupts, subtly model the behavior you'd like to see. For instance, when they finish, acknowledge their point and then transition back to yours. 2. Use nonverbal cues. Sometimes a gentle hand gesture can signal that you're not finished speaking without interrupting the flow of conversation. 3. Stay open-minded. Occasionally, interruptions may bring valuable insights or perspectives. Stay open to the possibility that the interrupter's input could enhance the discussion. 4. Practice patience. Patience is a cornerstone of mindfulness. By cultivating patience, you'll find it easier to handle interruptions without feeling slighted or annoyed. Real-life applications. In professional settings, during a team meeting, interruptions are common. When a colleague interrupts your presentation, pause, acknowledge their input briefly, and then guide the discussion back to your point. For example, "That's an interesting perspective, and I'll address it shortly. Let me finish this part first." In social gatherings, at a party, conversations can be lively and chaotic. If someone interrupts, use humor to diffuse the situation while reclaiming your narrative. For instance, "Hold on, I promise my story has a good punchline." With close relationships, um, interruptions often occur in intimate relationships due to familiarity. Gently reminding your partner or family member, "I'd like to finish sharing my thoughts," can strengthen communication without causing hurt feelings. After a conversation where you handled interruptions, take a moment to reflect. Did I stay composed? Was I able to reclaim my point effectively? How did the interrupter react? What could I do differently next time? This self-awareness helps you refine your approach over time. Interruptions are an inevitable part of communication, but they don't have to disrupt your peace or message. By adopting mindful techniques inspired by Buddhist principles, you can handle interruptions with grace and confidence. Whether in professional, social, or personal settings, your composed response will leave a lasting impression and foster more meaningful dialogues. Tip 3. Respond to humiliating jokes with grace. In social situations, being the target of a humiliating joke can be an uncomfortable and disempowering experience. However, your response to such situations determines the outcome. Instead of reacting emotionally or retaliating, adopting a mindful and composed approach can transform the moment into an opportunity to assert your inner strength and grace. Humiliating jokes often rely on catching you off guard, leveraging a shared audience to elicit laughter at your expense. The joker's intent may vary, from harmless banter to veiled malice, but the key is recognizing that their words don't define your worth. Instead of allowing their words to sting, responding thoughtfully can shift the dynamics, placing the focus back on the person making the joke. A powerful technique for responding to such jokes is to ask the person to repeat what they just said. This approach achieves several things simultaneously. 1. Breaks momentum. Jokes thrive on momentum. Asking for repetition interrupts this flow, dulling the punchline's impact. 2. Reveals intent. The joker often assumes their words won't be scrutinized. Repeating the joke forces them to confront their words in a direct and unfiltered way, which can make their behavior seem inappropriate or mean-spirited. 3. Shifts the power dynamic. Rather than being a passive target, you take control of the situation, demonstrating calm confidence and poise. Imagine this scenario. You're at a party and someone brings up an embarrassing story about you from years ago. The group erupts in laughter, leaving you feeling exposed. Instead of lashing out or laughing along to mask your discomfort, you simply say, "Could you repeat that?" Your tone is calm and your expression neutral, signaling that you're unbothered. This simple act often causes a noticeable shift. The laughter diminishes, and the joker may hesitate or struggle to repeat the joke with the same confidence. By maintaining composure, you subtly redirect the attention away from yourself and back to their questionable behavior. Buddhist philosophy offers valuable insights into handling such situations. Mindfulness teaches us to focus on the present moment without judgment, recognizing that external events do not alter our intrinsic value. When someone tells a humiliating joke, they are merely projecting their perceptions or insecurities. By remaining unshaken, you demonstrate inner resilience. A well-known Buddhist teaching states, if someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong? Similarly, when someone tries to gift you a humiliating comment or joke, your refusal to engage robs the comment of its power. Instead of letting their words affect you, view the situation as an opportunity to practice detachment and grace. Actionable steps for responding to humiliating jokes. Here's a step-by-step guide to managing these situations effectively. 1. Pause before reacting. When someone makes a humiliating joke, your first instinct might be to react defensively or with anger. Take a deep breath, pause, and give yourself a moment to collect your thoughts. 2. Assess the situation. Consider the context and intent behind the joke. Was it a harmless attempt at humor, or was it meant to undermine you? Understanding the motivation can guide your response. 3. Ask for repetition. Calmly and confidently ask the person to repeat their joke. For example, you might say, "I didn't quite catch that. Could you say it again?" Your tone should be neutral and unbothered, as if you're genuinely seeking clarification. 4. Maintain eye contact. When asking for repetition, maintain steady eye contact. This conveys confidence and signals that you are not intimidated or embarrassed. 5. Redirect the conversation. Once the joke has been repeated, or if the joker hesitates and moves on, steer the conversation in a new direction. For instance, you could say, "That reminds me of something funny that happened recently," and share a lighthearted anecdote of your own. 6. Leverage humor. If appropriate, use self-deprecating humor to diffuse tension. For example, if the joke references a past mistake, you could say, "Oh, that old story? I've told it so many times myself. It's practically legendary now." 7. Reinforce boundaries, if necessary. If the joke crosses a line or feels malicious, it's okay to set boundaries. A firm yet polite response like, "I'd appreciate it if we could leave that story in the past," can communicate your discomfort without escalating the situation. Over time, consistently responding to humiliating jokes with grace and poise can reshape how others perceive and interact with you. Some key benefits include respect. Demonstrating self-control and confidence earns the respect of both the joker and the audience. Self-empowerment. Handling such moments with composure reinforces your sense of self-worth and resilience. Healthier relationships. By addressing inappropriate behavior calmly, you set a positive tone for future interactions, encouraging more respectful communication. Integrating graceful responses into daily life. Responding to humiliating jokes with grace is a skill that requires practice. Here are some ways to build this habit. 1. Practice mindfulness. Regular mindfulness exercises, such as meditation or deep breathing, can help you remain calm and centered in challenging situations. Number 2. Role-play scenarios. Rehearse potential responses to humiliating jokes with a trusted friend. This can help you feel more prepared and confident in real-life situations. 3. Focus on self-compassion. Remind yourself that everyone has embarrassing moments and they do not define your worth. Treat yourself with kindness and patience. 4. Learn from experience. Reflect on past experiences where you handled or mishandled similar situations. Consider what worked well and what you could improve next time. Responding to humiliating jokes with grace is not about suppressing your emotions or letting others walk over you. Instead, it's about reclaiming your power by choosing a response that reflects your inner strength and self-assurance. By staying calm, composed, and mindful, you turn potentially uncomfortable moments into opportunities for growth and empowerment. Over time, this approach not only strengthens your relationships, but also deepens your connection to your authentic self. Tip 4. Redirect provocation with a question. When someone tries to provoke you, derail their efforts by changing the focus of the conversation. Asking an unrelated question disrupts their negative momentum and reclaims control of the interaction. This technique not only helps you maintain your composure, but also diffuses potential tension, leaving the provocateur disarmed and the situation neutralized. Let's explore this powerful tool in greater depth. Conflict often escalates because of reactive emotions. When provoked, the immediate human tendency is to defend, retaliate, or shut down. This knee jerk reaction plays into the provocateur's hands, giving them power over your emotional state. By redirecting the conversation with an unrelated question, you break this cycle. Instead of engaging in their game, you're setting the terms of interaction. This action flips the dynamic, putting you in control of the conversation without resorting to confrontation. Importantly, it allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react emotionally. Imagine this scenario. You're at a family gathering and a relative makes a pointed remark about your career choices, saying something like, "So, still trying to make that business work? Must be tough with all the competition these days." Rather than reacting defensively or letting the comment ruin your mood, you could calmly respond with, "Speaking of business, have you tried that new bakery downtown? I heard their pastries are amazing." This question is completely unrelated to the provocation, but neutral enough to shift the tone of the conversation. The provocateur might feel momentarily flustered or thrown off balance. More importantly, the tension dissipates and you're no longer engaged in an emotionally charged exchange. The conversation naturally transitions to lighter, less confrontational territory. The teachings of mindfulness emphasize the importance of self control and non reactivity. As the Buddhist saying goes, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This wisdom aligns perfectly with the strategy of redirecting provocation. By choosing not to react emotionally, you're cultivating mindfulness in action. Redirecting the conversation is not about ignoring or avoiding issues, but about prioritizing peace and composure over unnecessary conflict. This approach allows you to maintain your equilibrium and respond with intention, embodying the mindful principle of balanced detachment. Practical scenarios and examples. 1. Workplace criticism. Scenario: a colleague remarks, "You always take forever to complete reports." Response: "That reminds me, have you seen the latest data on our sales trends? It's quite interesting." Social settings. Scenario: at a dinner party, someone comments, "You're awfully quiet tonight. Cat got your tongue?" Response: "By the way, do you know who catered this event? The food is excellent." 3. Family gatherings. Scenario: a relative says, "Still no plans to settle down?" Speaking of plans, are you thinking about traveling anywhere this summer? In each case, the redirection serves to neutralize the comment and steer the conversation toward a more neutral or positive topic. Key considerations. Stay calm. Your tone and body language should reflect calmness and sincerity. A sarcastic or irritated tone can undermine the effectiveness of the redirection. Keep it neutral. Choose questions that are unrelated to the provocation but still relevant to the context of the interaction. For example, in a professional setting, ask about work-related topics. In social settings, steer toward shared interests. Avoid escalation. The goal is not to challenge or one-up the provocateur, but to subtly diffuse tension. Provocative or loaded questions could escalate the situation instead of de-escalating it. Benefits of redirecting provocation. 1. Preserves relationships. Sometimes provocations come from people you care about. Redirecting avoids unnecessary conflict and keeps the relationship intact. 2. Maintains your composure. By choosing not to engage emotionally, you remain in control of your actions and emotions. 3. Sets a positive example. Your ability to handle provocation gracefully can inspire others to adopt similar strategies. 4. Reduces stress. Emotional confrontations are draining. Avoiding them saves you from unnecessary stress and frustration. 5. Promotes constructive dialogue. Redirection often leads to lighter, more enjoyable conversations, fostering a positive atmosphere. Actionable steps. 1. Prepare neutral questions. Have a mental list of go-to topics or questions that can be used in various situations. Examples include, "Have you seen any good movies lately? What's your favorite way to spend a weekend? Did you hear about current event?" 2. Practice tone and delivery. Rehearse delivering your redirection calmly and naturally. This will help you stay composed under pressure. 3. Reflect on triggers. Identify common provocations you encounter and plan specific redirection strategies for each one. 4. Observe and learn. Pay attention to how others handle similar situations. Borrow techniques that align with your personality and values. Redirecting provocation with a question is a simple yet powerful technique to diffuse tension and maintain control of emotionally charged interactions. By staying calm, asking unrelated questions, and prioritizing mindfulness, you not only avoid unnecessary conflict, but also foster more positive and constructive dialogue. With practice, this skill can become a natural part of your communication toolkit, empowering you to navigate provocations gracefully in any setting. Tip 5. Walk away with dignity. Sometimes the most powerful response to disrespect or mistreatment is to walk away. It is not a sign of weakness, but a bold declaration of your self-worth and commitment to preserving your peace of mind. When respect is absent, choosing to leave speaks volumes about your inner strength and priorities. Walking away is an empowering decision that enables you to reclaim control over your circumstances. It allows you to distance yourself from negativity and focus on environments that foster respect, growth, and happiness. In a world where staying often feels easier, walking away can be a revolutionary act of self-care. My friend Sarah, a talented and hardworking professional, experienced constant ridicule from her manager. The manager's demeaning comments and lack of recognition made Sarah doubt her abilities. Instead of succumbing to despair, Sarah made a decision. She resigned. She did so with grace and professionalism, calmly stating that she worked in an environment where her talents were appreciated. This choice was not easy, but it was transformative. Within weeks, Sarah secured a leadership position at a company that valued her contributions and celebrated her strengths. Her decision to walk away marked the beginning of a new, fulfilling chapter in her career. The Buddhist teachings of mindfulness emphasize that we have control over our minds, not external events. This philosophy underscores that walking away isn't about giving up. It's about choosing peace and self-preservation over conflict and disrespect. By letting go of situations that don't serve us, we make room for better opportunities and relationships to enter our lives. Walking away requires courage and clarity. It involves acknowledging that the situation is no longer serving your well-being and trusting that better possibilities await. As the Buddha said, you cannot always control the world, but you can control the way you react to it. Benefits of walking away. 1. Preservation of self-worth. Leaving situations where you are undervalued reinforces your self-esteem. 2. Emotional peace. Walking away reduces stress, anxiety, and emotional turmoil. 3. Opportunity for growth. It creates space for better opportunities that align with your values and aspirations. 4. Setting boundaries. It communicates that disrespect or mistreatment is unacceptable, encouraging others to treat you with respect in the future. 5. Strengthening resilience. It builds inner strength and the ability to make tough yet necessary decisions. Here are some practical steps to help you walk away with dignity. 1. Recognize the signs. Pay attention to situations where your efforts to earn respect are unreciprocated or where you feel consistently undervalued. 2. Evaluate the costs. Reflect on the emotional, mental, and physical toll of staying in an unhealthy environment versus the potential benefits of leaving. 3. Set clear boundaries. Clearly define what behavior is acceptable and what is not. If these boundaries are repeatedly crossed, it may be time to leave. 4. Plan your exit. Prepare for the transition by considering alternatives such as new job opportunities, support networks, or financial planning. 5. Leave gracefully. When you decide to leave, do so with professionalism and integrity. Avoid burning bridges, as you never know when paths may cross again. 6. Focus on the future. Once you've left, direct your energy toward building a better, more fulfilling path. Surround yourself with people and environments that uplift and support you. Walking away can apply to various areas of life. 1. Workplace. If your workplace is toxic and unresponsive to efforts for change, leaving can open doors to healthier professional environments. 2. Relationships. When a relationship, romantic, familial, or platonic, is consistently draining and unbalanced, walking away may be the healthiest choice. 3. Social circles. If friendships are filled with negativity, gossip, or lack of support, consider stepping back. 4. Personal goals. Sometimes we cling to goals or projects that no longer serve us. Recognizing when to let go is crucial for personal growth. Common challenges and how to overcome them. 1. Fear of the unknown. Leaving familiar situations can be daunting. Combat this fear by focusing on the potential for growth and better opportunities. 2. Guilt. You may feel guilty about leaving others behind. Remember that prioritizing your well-being is not selfish but necessary. 3. Social pressure. Others might judge your decision. Stay grounded in your values and remind yourself why walking away is the best choice for you. 4. Uncertainty. Not knowing what lies ahead can be unsettling. Trust in your ability to navigate change and adapt. Affirmations to support your decision. I deserve respect and will not settle for less. Walking away is a step toward my growth and happiness. I have the strength to leave situations that no longer serve me. My peace of mind is my priority. Reflection questions. To gain clarity about whether it's time to walk away, ask yourself, am I consistently feeling disrespected or undervalued? Have I done everything within my power to improve the situation? Is staying here aligning with my values and long-term goals? What opportunities might I be missing by staying? How will leaving improve my well-being and peace of mind? Walking away with dignity is not about running from challenges, but about choosing self-respect and inner peace over enduring negativity. It's a declaration that you value yourself enough to seek better and refuse to settle for less. Remember, every step away from what doesn't serve you is a step toward what does. Trust in your strength and know that the best is yet to come. Respect is not a privilege demanded of others, but a gift cultivated through intentional actions and a steadfast commitment to self-respect. It flourishes in environments where individuals consistently align their actions with their values, demonstrating integrity, strength, and compassion. By drawing inspiration from Buddhist principles, you can navigate life's challenges gracefully and command the admiration and respect of those around you. Let us explore these principles in greater depth to understand how they can transform your interactions and elevate your presence in any setting. First impressions are powerful. They serve as the lens through which others view you, often setting the tone for your future interactions. A confident demeanor, warm smile, and attentive listening can create an aura of respectability from the outset. When you approach others with kindness and authenticity, you invite them to respond in kind, fostering mutual respect. This practice reflects the Buddhist concept of right speech, emphasizing sincerity and thoughtfulness in communication. Consider the impact of mindful greetings and thoughtful conversations in your daily life. When meeting someone for the first time, pause to center yourself, ensuring your words and body language project openness and respect. This deliberate practice not only shapes how others perceive you, but also reinforces your inner confidence. Life is full of interruptions, both literal and metaphorical, and how you respond to these disruptions reveals much about your character. Maintaining composure when faced with rudeness or distractions demonstrates inner strength and emotional maturity. Buddhist teachings encourage us to practice mindfulness in such moments, cultivating patience and equanimity. For example, when someone interrupts you during a conversation, rather than reacting with frustration, acknowledge the interruption with a calm demeanor. By remaining composed, you subtly assert your self-respect while diffusing potential tension. This practice reflects the Buddhist principle of right effort, striving to maintain balance and harmony in every situation. Humor can be a double-edged sword, and jokes at your expense can sting if taken personally. However, Buddhist wisdom teaches us to detach from the ego and recognize that such remarks often stem from the insecurities of others. When you respond to humiliating jokes with calm detachment, you rob them of their power and redirect the focus to your unshakable self-worth. Imagine someone makes a cutting remark at your expense in a social setting. Instead of reacting defensively, you smile and respond with a neutral comment, shifting the conversation to a more constructive topic. This response not only diffuses the tension, but also demonstrates your ability to rise above negativity, earning respect from those around you. Diffusing provocations through strategic redirection. Provocations are tests of your emotional resilience, and how you respond to them can either escalate or resolve conflict. Buddhist teachings on mindfulness and compassion provide a roadmap for diffusing provocations effectively. By redirecting the energy of a provocation toward a constructive outcome, you demonstrate both wisdom and leadership. Consider a scenario where a colleague criticizes your work in a harsh tone during a meeting. Instead of reacting defensively, you acknowledge their concern and ask for specific feedback to improve. This strategic redirection not only neutralizes the negativity, but also showcases your commitment to growth and collaboration, earning the respect of your peers. Walking away from a toxic situation is not an act of surrender, but a powerful declaration of self-worth. It signals that you value your peace and integrity above engaging in futile conflicts. This principle aligns with the Buddhist concept of right action, which emphasizes making choices that align with your values and promote harmony. For instance, if you find yourself in a heated argument that shows no signs of resolution, choosing to walk away allows you to protect your emotional well-being. Far from being a sign of weakness, this decision reflects strength and self-awareness, reinforcing your commitment to self-respect. At its core, Buddhist mindfulness is about embracing life's challenges as opportunities for growth and transformation. Every moment of disrespect, every conflict, and every provocation is an invitation to practice compassion, patience, and self-awareness. By applying these principles consistently, you can navigate life's complexities with wisdom and grace. Through mindfulness, you develop the ability to observe your thoughts and emotions without being overwhelmed by them. This heightened awareness empowers you to respond to disrespect with clarity and purpose, rather than reacting impulsively. Over time, this practice not only enhances your relationships, but also deepens your sense of inner peace and self-respect. At Buddhist Mindfulness, we believe that every challenge is an opportunity to grow, and every interaction is a chance to embody wisdom and compassion. By sharing your experiences and insights, you contribute to a community dedicated to mastering life's complexities with grace. We invite you to reflect on your journey. How have you navigated moments of disrespect? What strategies have you found effective in cultivating self-respect and commanding the admiration of others? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let us learn from one another's experiences. As we conclude this exploration of respect and mindfulness, let us remember that the journey to self-respect is ongoing. It requires daily practice, unwavering commitment, and the courage to face life's challenges with an open heart. By embracing Buddhist principles, you can transform even the most difficult interactions into opportunities for growth and connection. Thank you for being part of this journey. Subscribe to our channel for more insights on living with wisdom and grace, and let us continue to learn and grow together. Respect is not a destination, but a path, one that we walk together, guided by mindfulness and compassion.